Alright, so FL2K video. I just got off of work like 30 minutes ago. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning. We are still at home in Orlando, so it's about a 2-hour drive. We're hopefully just gonna park at the gates. They said they're gonna open at 7, and I can barely talk right now, but hopefully we get there around 6 and get like an hour nap in, because we're gonna have to unload somewhere. I know that people are saying that they're parking at the Freedom Factory. Hopefully somebody saved us a spot. If not, we're gonna have to park really far away from the staging lanes. And I heard it's also flooded, so hopefully we went and bought mats at Harbor Freight last night, and hopefully that's good enough for us. So let's see. Earlier in the day, we had to finish installing the wastegate that we got. The clamps weren't exactly the same as the ones we were running before, so it didn't kind of line up. So it took quite a while to get it to fit on there, and then we had to pack up the whole entire truck and trailer, load everything up before they took me to work. They ended up taking me to work, or picking me up from work in the truck and trailer. So this was like 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning whenever we arrived at the track. They ended up opening up the gates a little bit later for us, so we were stuck in here for quite some time. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to sleep. My truck is very tiny, so we kind of just stayed up and talked about a game plan for the rest of the day. We still weren't sure if we were going to find any parking, but as soon as we got through the gates, they told us to head straight back to the Freedom Factory. This whole entire track was packed to the brim with race cars. Maze, you're at the start of the show anyways. Maisie Boo. Oh, you give love. She forces you to love her.
Nobody does at home. My Mace.
Thankfully, Min and his crew ended up saving me a spot. That's a good thing, because both of us had the same tuner, so it's easier on our tuner to be all grouped together. We are also by Wasabi Supra and the new Dirty Taco, which is great because I've looked up to those guys my whole life. So I was absolutely excited to see their new cars. Arriving Friday morning, I thought I would be one of the last people to get there. And surprisingly, I wasn't the only one to arrive here, because the tech line was over 100 cars long. I do know that the first couple days it did rain out, so maybe a lot of people didn't get to make it to the track, or maybe just didn't make it to tech. But the tech line was over 2 hours long. There was like 100 cars in line. And once you got closer to the tech, as you can see in the video, it was completely flooded on this side of the track. You had to run your race car through complete mud holes, and it just was really bad conditions. Thankfully, the tech guys got us through really quick, and on the way back from tech, my Ruckus scooter died, so I had to end up pushing it from one side, the tech side, all the way back to the other side of the scoreboards. After that, after no sleep, I was just completely depleted, and I ended up trying to take a nap inside my truck, and it was almost impossible. I kept jumping back to life, being scared that I was falling because my truck is so shaky, and it just wasn't very comfortable to try to sleep in. Finally, at like 9 o'clock at night, they finally called us for round 1 of qualifying, and they ended up telling us that this was going to be our only round of qualifying for the entire event. Going into the qualifying round 1, I was incredibly nervous because I was on no sleep. I felt delusional, but I just had to like slap myself a couple times awake, and I was ready to go.
Civic. So we got a couple of Hondas on the starting line. You know what the worst feeling in the world is? When you think you left on time and the girl left in front of you gets the win line. Yes, sir. Samantha in, opposite side in, and Sammy gets the whole shot here. Again, just qualifying, but it does count for bragging rights. Sammy on a rip. Goes down left-hand side and is moving and grooving. How about 930 at 134 miles an hour? She got out of the gas early enough to try and slow it down, but just not quite enough. But
I was actually really impressed with my 937 that I ended up doing. Unfortunately, I did a .216 reaction time, which is pretty bad for index racing, But I knew once I had a good night's sleep that everything was going to be okay. I should do a lot better the following day. But the only bad thing about qualifying with the 937 is that it doesn't make me into the qualifying list. And I ended up realizing midway through my fourth gear, I knew I should have lit off, but I was just having too much fun. I haven't had fun in a while. So I just stayed in it and got to enjoy my car a little bit more. All day. Today's been a crazy day at FL2K. Today was supposed to be 2 more rounds of qualifying. Last night we did a round of qualifying, our only round of qualifying. We ended up doing a 9.3 at 9:30 p.m. So I got to the track at 6 a.m. Didn't do a pass until like 15 hours later. And today we went first thing in the morning, first round of eliminations.
All right, guys, Doug and I making our way through the pits. Tell us your name. Tell us about the Civic.
My name's Samantha Nelson. I'm running the 950 Index, and this is a B Series EK hatch. Makes about 800, made 800 horsepower.
So the B Series, as big as they can get is 2 liter.
Yeah.
How big is the motor in this one?
It's a stock sleeve, so nothing crazy.
Awesome. And you said it makes about 600?
No, about 800.
Oh, about 800. So I'm sorry to cut you out 200.
The car should do like 8.6s in it, but I'm still working and learning how to get to that point. So.
And it's a stick shift ride?
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome. You let off the violence pedal and all the stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
What's it like driving an 800 horsepower front wheel drive car in an Index class?
It's pretty violent, but the fun thing about it is towards the end of the track, you kind of just have to let off, and it's a guessing game of where you're going to be at, so how well you know your car.
Absolutely. And where can folks find you on like social medias and all that type of stuff?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook. My name is Samyysosaa, SAMYYSOSAA.
Right there.
Yeah.
So you'll look for the Civic making passes in the 950 Index class. How is your FL2K going for you this weekend?
Actually, really good. I won my first round by barely anything, 0.015 of a second.
Bam! I mean, a win light's a win light's a win light.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Love that. So you'll see her in elimination number 2 coming up here in the 950 Index class.
Yeah.
Look for that front wheel drive Honda, 800 horsepower, letting off the violence pedal and trying to stay ahead of the competitors here at FL2K. Again, right here at Bradenton Motorsports Park. The only place to see it other than here is here on Freedom Plus.
I ended up winning. It was a close race. I only won by like 0.015 of a second. I'm playing the game, trying to figure out on the track where I need to be slowing down at to run that 950 on the dot. We ended up going in round 2 of eliminations, won that one.
Samantha Nelson, left side of the track, the 1998 Civic, V18 powered. And right side, Aaron West out of Michigan City, Indiana, the 2000 model Mustang. And claiming 302 under the hood. I would definitely bet more towards that Coyote side from the push rod. Once again, they had to back a car out, make sure that they courtesy stage only pre-stage bulbs to start, please. Samyysosaa, left-hand side, who has really worked on her program in this car out of Orlando, and Aaron West out of Michigan City, Indiana. That's a long way to Hove with the Mustang. Does he have a shot right here, or is Samantha going to send him packing early? Samantha gets the whole shot. We saw her visibly move first.
Yep, and that's the way the cookie crumbles right there. Unless she breaks out, it's all over with the crying. Goes 985, 104, and she does an amazing job. They're going to the next round.
Good job there, and the reaction time was there, and she's ready.
And Aaron.
That one was a little bit easier. The guy ended up accidentally double bulbing me at the beginning, which kind of threw me off a little bit, but I was actually practicing my bump in with being on the throttle at the same time so that I can play any game on the tree that needs to be done and get the job done. So we're about to go into round 3 of eliminations. They said there's going to be no eliminations tomorrow so far, what we heard, because it's supposed to be a washout. Hopefully they don't close us out and we're able to do another round of eliminations tonight, and hopefully we can go to the semifinals. The car's been actually running awesome all weekend so far. No complaints, just a regular charging, checking the oil, and putting gas in. I can't complain. It's a solid setup, and I'm very excited about the future of this car.
Last chance for you to go grab that coveted FL2K merch.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. I think your last chance expired. There is very limited sizes, and I think only one shirt down there, maybe two. I think they've got the gray in limited sizes, and then they've got one hanging up on the edge of the trailer that they have a few sizes in. So walk or run. Don't walk down there and check them out. See if you can get your FL2K official merch.
And Sammy Nelson. This is Samyysosaa. She has been stepping up her game. Now again, she's got to make sure she doesn't go too fast. Starts the back into the right-hand side, and we'll get it as we move into the 950 class. 960 on the 950. Sammy goes another round. She'll go into, I believe that should be the semifinals.
Yes, sir. Dare you say Samyysosaa knocked it out of the park, huh?
Very good, sir. Very good.
Break. Don't mind my ratchetness. This is some hurricane prep. Got to put everything in the garage and make sure everything's secured. So FL2K, we made it all the way to the semifinals. I was strapped into the car, and they let the street car class go before us, and it was like 3 different divisions of street car class. So unfortunately, it started to sprinkle, and it was sprinkling, and it wouldn't let up. So it was just like an annoying sprinkle that wouldn't stop. They had to end up canceling the event for the rest of the night. It was already 12 a.m. I was strapped in at 12:12, and they had a curfew, but they kind of like just let it go. They were going to let it run through, but the sprinkling just didn't let up. And then the forecast for Sunday was a complete wash, like 75% chance of rain the whole entire day with flood warnings. So unfortunately, we didn't get to finish out the rest of the competition. The 4 of us that were left, there was 2 Hondas, which they were both EK hatches. His was sequential and mine was H pattern, and then there was 2 automatic V8s. So I'm pretty proud of the Hondas for being still in the running for the finals, or semifinals, because that's really rare for something like that to win. Normally those automatic V8s are really hard to beat. They're dialed in. They don't have turbos. They don't have to wait on what we have to wait on. They can get us pretty good off the line. And then I just always think that the rear-wheel drives have better reaction times. It's just easier to get off the line that way. The front-wheel drives kind of have to work a little bit harder. The guy with the sequential, I mean, that's definitely pretty hard to beat. I was still doing an H pattern. I am clutchless, so that does help out significantly. Last year, I was running a stock transmission, and I got to almost the semifinals. I would have beat the guy because I did get off the line a lot quicker than him last year, but unfortunately, my car was just not solid. It ended up bogging off the line, and I've always had issues with either the injectors or the harness. Something was going on there. Definitely the tires probably spinning on the wheel was not helping. So there's a lot of different factors that I've changed up recently and has made the car incredibly consistent. I can really rely on it now, and it's actually helped me become a better driver, able to work on my reaction time because I know that the car is going to be there to back me up. So that's super awesome. Another FL2K in the books. I've been going to FL2K for, I don't know, almost 10 years now. Obviously, this is my second or third year with the Honda, but all the other years I used to go with my 240. So super happy about that. Can't wait to maybe run it back with the 240. I'm not sure which class I would fit in, so I'm gonna have to look at the rules and regulations. I said that the day that I get back, I'm gonna be working on the 240. I'm gonna write down a to-do list on the 240 and come up with a game plan on how to do that. The hurricane is about to hit us, so we might be not be able to work too much for the next 2 or 3 days, depending on, it's coming directly for us, so depending on how bad it is. Just gonna start working on the game plan, maybe order some parts that we're gonna need to get started. Definitely gonna start with painting the whole entire engine bay, so definitely gonna look out for that, painting the interior. I'm not sure if I'm gonna paint it or wrap it, but don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up with it. This is gonna be a monster of a car, I promise you. If I can build that 8-second Civic in this garage, I can definitely build a freaking 6-second race car in this garage. I have no doubt in our skills, so I can't wait to show you guys how much we got and what we're gonna bring. So don't forget to give the video a like if you enjoyed watching me beat everybody all those rounds, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see me do it again. And don't forget to subscribe because I build awesome shit in my garage. If you guys want to support me, it would definitely help me out a lot. This is my new Civic shirt, powered by violence. It's with the whole entire theme of the Civic. They're very violent cars to drive. Compared to this thing is like a Cadillac. It's automatic, completely different ball game, you know? Like, the Hondas are aggressive. It's crazy. That top end is insane. The back of the shirt says, "How can I lose if I came with nothing?" Very fitting for the FL2K win, so I'm very excited about that. Too bad I couldn't finish out the rest of the race, but until next time, guys.